why are they putting it in there if not all dogs can digest it properly? My reaction was anger. Like, why are they putting anything in a food that's not for all dogs? My name is Ryan Winchell. This is my wife, Kim. Our dog, Izzy. We were not really looking for a dog when we came across Izzy. Our son, who is now 16, at the time I believe was 8. We had lost a dog previously, and it'd been about 4 years before that, and he really pushed hard for us to get another dog. Every birthday, every Christmas, it was always, all I want is another dog. And we'd put it off for 4 years. We ran into a friend of ours at church who had a lab and mentioned that friends of theirs had a litter. So we took him over, and out of 13 dogs, we had the 11th choice, and we got Izzy. The biggest memory moment for us in particular was more of a scare. When she was 3 years old, it was during COVID. She wasn't eating well, she was doing things that concerned us to the point where we were grilling chicken.
She was lethargic. She
Yeah.
wasn't eating anything and losing weight.
So we had reached out, and we had her normal checkup was gonna be in like 2 weeks. I called there and they said they could get her in, but they were very busy. It'd probably be about 3 weeks. I just told them the regular checkup was in 2. I don't think I had that kind of time. So I called Pete, and his response was they too are very busy, but if you can drop her off, I will make time to look into it. So he did, and came back, and I think Pete's words were, if I didn't know you better, I think you have a princess dog, because everything looks great. So he goes by me to run some blood work, and he did. Fast forward, we did a liver biopsy, and we found out that she had copper storage disease. One of those scary moments where she's giving us the signs, but we don't know what to do. And again, during COVID, made it even that much harder.
Come on up. Whoa, there you go. I'm Dr. Pete Van Branken. I'm the veterinarian that treated Izzy for copper storage disease. It went really quite well. It's kind of a tricky dance, because what you got to do is you got to figure out whether these clients will allow you to biopsy their dog, which the Winchells did. Really made it a lot simpler. We started real slow. She wasn't eating very well, so I had to add some prednisone to the cocktail. Prednisone is an anti-inflammatory, makes them feel better, makes them hungrier. And that worked reasonably well with her. She started eating immediately. And if she's eating and getting the dog food in and starting to gain weight, and the D-penicillamine is a chelating agent, it actually binds the copper and issues it out. And that's really helpful to get all that copper out. Izzy was only 3 or 4 years old, but she'd spent a fair amount of time accumulating this. In other words, they were putting, and I've said this before, 10 units in, taking 5 out, 10 in, 5 out. So we changed the foods to where it was 2 in, 5 out, 2 in, 5 out. Plus we were issuing more of the copper out with the chelating agent, D-penicillamine. So we took our time with her, and we just monitored her ALT. ALT being a liver enzyme, so like a leakage enzyme. It's an enzyme that's actually leaking out hepatocytes or the liver cells. So that's kind of how you monitor how you're doing here. You watch your ALT, and we did that with Izzy. So it's a really complicated thing, and I've made this one of my priorities in life, learning how to do this, at least in my profession, knowing how to do this, how to go about it, how to use common sense, let that rule the day. But it is a champagne disease. In other words, it's expensive to diagnose, and I was fortunate that the Winchells allowed us to do that. They didn't deserve to have that happen. And listen, I'm not going to mention what food they were feeding, but it's a brand name food that everybody would know, and it had too much copper in it. And I don't think anybody did it intentionally, but copper sulfate is it's not really a preservative. It's a growth promotant, and really shouldn't have 3-year-old or even, for that matter, 10-year-old dogs that are on growth promotants, because they're not growing anymore.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. That would have been a hard one when you've got 2 little ones and you become attached to the dogs, and at age 3, you know, she was on the verge of not being here. So